Just what the doctor ordered, a diet of nasty hill climbs and beautiful single track. For months, Rod has been saying I need to try these hill climbs, and with hill climbs still being a relatively weak point, I must admit I was pretty reluctant. So with zero warm-up, within 1 minute of leaving the cars, we hit the first climb.
This is welcome to Belthorpe. Bloody big climb. Rod, our Romaniacs veteran.
Then it was straight into beautiful single track, winding up and down along the edge of the mountain range through green eucalypts and semi-rainforest, with stunning views to our left. Then the biggest mother of a climb for the day. Danny very wisely opted out to protect his mint condition KDX 200. This is exactly the sort of hill I've always dreaded, but was amazed I was actually getting up it. I put Golden tyres on the 250 EXC for the recent Wildwood Rock Extreme Enduro, and the grip of the 230 rear is honestly the best I've ever experienced. Plus now I've got the Clake 2 setup, which is a combined ultralight clutch and rear handbrake. I was pretty much slipping the clutch almost the entire way up these hills, but never got the usual arm pump and buggered fingers.
You having fun yet? Yeah, love it.
I've never been into bike bling or the endless discussions about this tyre or that. I've always figured it's got to be at least 80% rider skill and just worked on that. But I'm starting to think that once you have a basic grasp of the skills, then stuff like the Clake and Golden tyres can begin to give you a distinct edge.
This is a tricky bit. You can't see the ruts, but you've got to come over the ruts, pivot, more ruts, pivot, then up the bloody hill. You watch my...
Despite the fatigue, I'm stoked. Everything we've been learning is slowly coming together for this hill climb. Pivot turns, slipping the clutch, finding traction, paddling, jumping over ruts. We're all stuffed, but loving the challenge. So we're still on the same hill, but taking breaks to get our breath back and cool off in the Australian summer heat.
Oh, there's more! This is hard because it's slippery and you're crossing ruts. You go into ruts if you're not careful.
In the end, it takes us at least half an hour to get up, while Danny sits at the summit wondering where the hell we are. And finally, the summit. No rest for the wicked, it's on to Rubble Hill, where momentum is your best friend. Although, to test out that Golden tyre, I had a second run going slow in first gear and surprisingly almost made it. Loving the traction.
Oh, it gets easy after this.
Another spot I loved the Clake. I could hold the rear brake on with my left hand to stop the bike rolling back, and this let me use both legs to haul the bike up. God bless those two gold-coloured master cylinders. Loving them. Talking of bike bling, quite a few have been asking me about the Recluse auto clutch. I did use one for about 3 years, and frankly I loved it. Because I never really learnt good clutch control, I found I was able to tackle gnarlier terrain and virtually never stall the bike. But this triggered my interest in cross-training, and after a few months, I realised the Recluse was just going to hold me back at some point. I bit the bullet when I got the KTM, and must say I haven't looked back since. Gradually got to the point where I rarely stall the bike anymore, and can slip the clutch effectively in most situations. It's interesting to note the top riders virtually never use a recluse, especially those with a trials background. They've got to a point where they can do a better job than the recluse, and while I might not get to that point, I'd like to give it a try. I certainly wouldn't criticise anyone for getting a recluse, but just figure if you really want to push your learning curve, at some point you may find you need to ditch it, as I did, and just start catching up on those clutch skills.